I have been tinkering with my hair for over an hour now. What's up, my heebie-jeebies? I don't know why I said that. What I meant is, what up, my weeby babies? Ew! I am feeling weird. I don't know how to explain this feeling. The last time I felt this way was when I finished reading I Sold My Life for 10,000 Yen per Year by Sugaru Miaki. By the way, I'll call it 3 Days of Happiness for the rest of the video, if I ever mention it again. 3 Days of Happiness was a story about two people living at the bottom of the barrel and finding a reason to be happy before the end. And it also asked us if we can put a price on our lives. There's a very specific feeling I get whenever I finish a Sugaru Miaki story. It's this quiet, uncomfortable stillness. Like I've read something incredibly tender yet incredibly weird. And I don't know which one I'm supposed to hold on to. Now, before we go into the video, I need to ask you to take care of yourself. The manga we're going to talk about today heavily deals with self-harm and mental illness. We are also going to discuss a relationship with a significant age gap involving a minor. So if you're not in the right headspace for these topics today, please click away or save this to watch later. Your well-being is very much important than this video. Okay, so without any further ado, let's talk about Sugaru Miyake's 2016 novel, later turned into a manga, and eventually a film called Parasite Love. Broadly speaking, this story is about two lonely individuals, a germaphobe and a scopophobe, who find solace and love in each other only to later discover that their relationship is heavily influenced by these parasites in their brains. They have this really complicated and dependent relationship that I find so compelling and interesting, because on one hand you really want to root for them and see them happy together, but on the other hand you're like, maybe this is not okay. Because first, both the characters struggle with serious mental health issues, making it really unclear if what they share is genuine love. And second, there is a whopping 10-year age gap between our two protagonists. Kengo Kosaka is a 27-year-old isolated from the world germaphobe who believes the world isn't just cruel, it's filthy. He is also a hacker, so he creates this malware called Silent Night that is set to activate on Christmas Eve, disrupting communications for 2 days and forcing everyone to spend the holidays alone just as he does. One night, a mysterious man named Izumi visits Kosaka and threatens to report Silent Night to the police unless Kosaka agrees to look after a kid named Sanaga Hijiri. Sanaga Hijiri is a 17-year-old high schooler suffering from a crippling case of scopophobia, the fear of being looked at. To cope, she always wears her headphones, using them as a barrier to blur the world and retreat into her own space. When people look at her, she feels exposed and vulnerable, like she's being dissected. It's quite impressive how these two misfits slowly fall in love with each other. Like, think about it. One is afraid to be touched and the other is afraid to be seen. These are two puzzle pieces that should not fit together, but somehow does. When they first meet, it's not your typical meet cute, you know. Kosaka is literally blackmailed into looking after her, and Sanagi is a bratty, defensive, terrified kid. Usually in a typical romance, the misfit finds a normie who fixes them. Here we have two drowning people who just grab onto each other. And yes, holding on to someone feels better than drowning, but at the end of the day, if none of you know how to swim, you're just going to drown faster together. Now, here comes the twist. Their relationship is not quite genuine. It's the result of a parasitic infection. Yeah, essentially there is a parasite inside their brains that control their lives and feelings, leading them to become utterly dependent on each other. The worms rewire their brains to serve their own evolution. It causes them to isolate, to fear others, so that eventually they can find another host who also is infested with the parasite, and then they can eventually mate and spread it. This changes everything, because now you question, is their connection even real? This is the core dilemma among the characters. Kosaka and Sanagi start to fall for each other. They hold hands, they find comfort in each other, they kiss. And all this time we are like, well, soulmate, duh. But no, It's because of the parasite. The parasite allows this. The parasite wants them together, even though there is like a 10-year age gap. Sorry I keep bringing that up again and again, but it is kinda unsettling. Sanagi is 17, and I know it is because of the parasite that they started to like each other. But even Kosaka eventually was understanding of the fact that it is wrong to be attracted to Mai now. But I guess the parasites controlling them are too strong. Anyway, let's discuss the parasite in question. Is it an actual worm in their head? Perhaps. But it is also a metaphor representing mental health conditions, trauma, neurodivergence, and negative emotions like grief or compulsion, which manifest as literal worms acting as anchors for their emotional struggles and affecting their ability to form healthy attachments and relationships. Every time Kosaka and Sanagi feel a surge of emotion, they have to wonder if this is genuine. There is a very specific, intoxicating relief when one neurodivergent person meets another who speaks their language. You don't have to mask anything. You don't have to explain why you can't touch the door handle or why you don't want to be looked at. They just get it. But that also makes them confused, feeling a sense of relief with romance. And this is a distinction that haunts so many real-world relationships. Kosaka and Sanagi aren't challenging each other to grow. They are just building a small shelter to protect themselves from the world. And that is the textbook definition of codependency. Kosaka spends so much of the story in this agonizing dilemma that what if I take the pill? What if I kill the parasite? Will I still love her? That's so terrifying. He's so terrified that what if this love he feels towards Sanagi is an error? That without this parasite, he has no capacity for connection. I don't know, honestly, if I should root for them or not. I'm so glad they understand each other, they feel safe around each other. But at the end of the day, it's not healthy. In a healthy relationship, two people come together to make a bigger world. In a codependent relationship like this one, the world shrinks unless it's only big enough for two people. Look, Parasite in Love is without a doubt a romance. But is it a love story? I don't think so. A love story implies the two people see each other, like truly see each other and build something that is so much bigger than them. What Kosaka and Sanagi have, it's just survival. Throughout the manga, we are constantly reminded that what they have is the result of some strings pulled by their parasites. I believe it is a story about how biology and trauma hijack our hearts and trick us into thinking we have found a soulmate, when really what we have found is just another host. I don't want to spoil the ending because it's something you should enjoy on your own. Well, there's nothing really much to enjoy. It has a very open to interpretation ending, and apparently the movie has a very different ending than the manga. So if any one of you folks have watched it, please let me know if it's worth giving a shot. On the other hand, if you like 3 Days of Happiness, I'm sure you'll like reading Parasites in Love as well. It has the same gloomy, depressing, melancholic feeling and only 14 chapters. Please be aware of the triggers though. As I mentioned, it covers a lot of heavy themes. And let me know, what do you think about Kosaka and Sanagi's relationship? I will go and read Sugaru Miyaki's other works now. So we'll meet again in the next video. See ya!